Choose the most appropriate reported speech. Jones said, "By this time tomorrow, I will have been in Lagos." A. Jones said that by this time the following day, he would have been in Lagos. B. Jones said that by that time the following day, he would have been in Lagos. C. Jones said that by that time tomorrow, he will have been in Lagos. D. Jones said that by that time tomorrow, I would have been in Lagos. If you come across this type of question in your post-UTME, how would you approach it? Which of the options would you have gone for? That is what this video is all about. Hello, thank you for joining the channel. In this video, we want to discuss reported speech in post-UTME. Let the lesson begin. The first thing we are going to do is to explain what a reported speech is actually. What is a reported speech? A reported speech is a statement of what someone else has said without quoting them verbatim. Okay, let's assume in this case, Daniel said something and someone else wants to tell us what Daniel has said. This is what we call a reported speech, because in this case, the person is actually reporting Daniel to us. Another name for a reported speech is indirect speech, and that is because we do not hear it directly from the speaker. Instead, someone else is reporting the same statement, so it becomes an indirect speech. Let's see the example we have. This is the direct speech. Daniel said, "Tomorrow is my birthday." This expression is a direct speech. When we are writing, how do we identify a direct speech? There is always a comma after the said. Then the exact words of the person is going to be written in quotes. This is how to identify a direct speech. It could be inverted, like, "Tomorrow is my birthday," Daniel said. In as much as the opening and the closing quotation marks are there, it is a direct speech. Let's discuss the indirect speech, the reported speech. The reported speech becomes, Daniel said that the following day was his birthday. You would notice there are some changes, and that is what we want to study. First of all, you will see that the two quotation marks in the direct speech is no longer there in the reported speech. Then 2, the comma after Daniel said in the direct speech is no longer there in the reported speech. And then we have that. So that introduces what the person actually says. But in this case, we are not quoting the person word for word. And because there could have been a delay between the time the person actually makes the statement and the time the other person is reporting the statement, then some changes are very important. The first thing is that tomorrow changes to the following day. Then the present tense verb is changes to past tense was. Then my birthday, because Daniel was talking about himself. That is why Daniel said my. But now someone else is saying it. That's why my changes to what? His birthday. Daniel said that the following day was his birthday. You will notice that is in bracket. This is because it is optional. We may decide to remove it from the reported speech. We can have Daniel said the following day was his birthday. We have to note that we have some other changes. Apart from tomorrow changing to the following day, there are some other changes like the one we have on this screen. For example, in the direct speech, if we have simple present tense in the direct speech, when we are reporting it, it changes to simple past tense. So in your direct speech, if you have "I eat rice," it will change to she or he, depending on the gender of the person whom we are reporting. She or he said that she ate rice. Now, she ate. From simple present tense, "I eat rice," it changes to what? She ate rice. Simple past tense will change to past perfect tense. If the person says, "I ate," then it's going to be reported as she said that she had eaten. So past tense changes to past perfect tense. Present perfect tense changes to past perfect tense as well. So if the person says, I have eaten, it will become, she said that she had eaten. So it means that have, H-A-V-E, changes to had from present perfect tense to past perfect tense. And you might wonder, what about if the direct speech is already in past perfect tense? Then we are going to retain it. So past perfect tense is still going to be retained as past perfect tense. If the person says, I had eaten, we are going to report it as she said that she had eaten. Present continuous tense will change to past continuous tense. So I am eating, we are going to report that as she said that she was eating. She said that she was eating. You can see, am eating becomes was eaten. Then present perfect continuous tense changes to past perfect continuous tense. If the person says, I have been eating, in the reported speech, we are going to report it as she said that she had been eating. Then past continuous tense will become past perfect continuous tense. If the person says, I was eating, we are going to report it as she said that she had been eating. I know that this list of changes could be a bit handy. You could pause the video right here and jot this list in your notebook so you can easily make reference to them when you need them. Still on tense shift in reported speech, modal auxiliary verbs will also change from their present tense to past tense. Will become would. So if the direct speech is I will go, the reported speech is going to become she said that she would go. Will changes to would. The same thing happens if it is shall. Shall will change to should or would. Let's see this one. If the person says, I shall go, we are going to report it as she said that she would go. And you ask me, why did shall change to would instead of should? Well, the person used shall because it goes with I, the first person, I shall. But now when we are reporting the person, you remember that we are not going to retain the pronoun I. We are going to use she if the person is female or he if the person is male. Now, from the first person I to she or he, the third person pronoun, we have to change that shall to would. So that is how shall changes to would. I shall go. She said that she would go. Can changes to could. The example in sentence can be found in the front, right in front of it. May changes to might. And must changes to had to. Had to. All in all, the basic rule is that all present tense will change to past tense. This is what we call tense shift. However, sometimes tense shift will not occur, and that is when the reporting is in the present tense. Let's have a look at the two examples I have here. Report in past tense. Audu said, I know the answer. Audu said, take note of the verb said. That is a direct speech. Audu said, I know the answer. Now, in this case, because we have Audu said, the report is going to be in past tense. And the report is going to be, Audu said that he knew the answer. So said and knew. Know becomes knew. That is tense shift. But if the report is in present tense, like the one we have below, Audu says, I know the answer. You can see it is no longer said. It is in present tense. Audu says, I know the answer. In this case, if you want to report it, you are not going to change the tenses to past tense. Your reported speech is going to become, Audu says that he knows the answer. You can see that the two verbs in our reported speech, says and knows, they are also in present tense because the direct speech is also in present tense. Audu says. So if the direct speech is in present tense, the reported speech will also be in present tense. Tense shift will not occur. However, in most cases, we usually have the past form. And for this reason, it is very important that we master tense shift in reported speech. Yes, apart from changes in tense, we also have changes in time. time shift in indirect speech, and that is because by the time the person makes the direct speech and the time you are reporting, there could have been the difference of 2 hours, 4 hours, 20 hours, even 3 days, 12 weeks, even 1 year difference between the time the person made the statement and the time you actually reporting. So time shift is also very important. Now, in the direct speech, we change to then. Today, in direct speech, we change to that day. Ago, in the direct speech, we'll change to before. Tomorrow, in the direct speech, will change to the next day or the following day. Yesterday, in the direct speech, we change to the previous day. Last week, we change to the previous week. Last month, we change to the previous month. Last year, the previous, like that. Then, on the right side of the screen, we have place shift in the reported speech. Here, we change to there. Here in the direct speech, we'll change to there. In the indirect speech, in the reported speech. This, in the direct speech, will change to that in the reported speech. And this, plural this, in the direct speech, will change to those in the reported speech. These are the changes that will take place when we are changing reported to, when we are changing a direct speech to a reported speech. Now, let's see some typical post-UTME questions. Now, back to the first question we have at the beginning of the video. John said, by this time tomorrow, I will have been in Lagos. A. John said that by this time the following day, he would have been in Lagos. B. John said that by that time the following day, he would have been in Lagos. C. John said that by that time tomorrow, he will have been in Lagos. D. John said that by that time tomorrow, I would have been in Lagos. For us to change this to a reported speech, we have to begin with the way it starts. John said that by this time will change to that time. This will change to die. This will change to that. This will change to that. John said that by that time, tomorrow has to change to what? Remember, to the following day. The following day. John said that by that time, the following day, then I, in the direct speech, John was referring to himself by using the pronoun I. But now that we are reporting, I will change to he because Jones is a male person. He will, in the direct speech, will change to would in the reported speech. So I will change to he would. So I will have been in Lagos. We change to he would have been in Lagos. So the correct answer is John said that by that time the following day he would have been in Lagos. Which of the options has these? That is option B. John said that by that time the following day he would have been in Lagos. Let's go to the next question. Which of the options correctly reports this statement? Kemi said, do you understand the lesson? Kemi said, do you understand the lesson? A. Kemi asked if I understood the lesson. B. Kemi asked if I understand the lesson. C. Kemi asked if I understood the lesson in quotation marks. D. Kemi asked, do you understand the lesson? For us to report this, let's begin it. Because it is a question, it is right for us to use asked instead of said. So Kemi asked if I understand in the direct speech. Do you understand the lesson? Understand has to change to past tense. Kemi asked if I understood the lesson. because it is not stated in the direct speech whether Kemi was talking to the reporter or someone else. I could work there, you could also work there. Kemi asked if you could understand the lesson. Now let's see the options that we have. Okay, option A, Kemi asked if I understood the lesson. Okay, that is the correct option. Option B, Kemi asked if I understand the lesson. Option B is wrong because understand is in present tense. Option C, Kemi asked if I understood the lesson. Option C could have been correct if the quotes are not there. In the reported speech, there are usually no quotes, no quotation marks. So because of the quotation marks, option C is wrong. Then option D, Kemi asked, do you understand the lesson? It is also wrong because when you are reporting a question, it is no longer a question. So you don't report it with the question mark. And even understand should have been in the past tense. The correct option remains option A. To the next question, don't ever challenge me again. The old man warned me. Don't ever challenge me again. The old man warned me. A. The old man warned me not to be challenging him again. B. The old man warns me not to challenge him anymore. C. The old man warned him not to ever challenge me again. D. The old man warned me not to ever challenge him again. Now, let's see how to convert this to a reported speech. The old man warned me, because it says, the old man warned me in the direct speech. Don't ever challenge me again. The old man warned me. So we begin with the old man warned me. Yes. Now, don't. That's a negative do not. So the old man warned me not to ever challenge him again. The old man warned me not to ever challenge him again. And some would ask, why is challenge not in past tense? And that is because challenge is coming after the preposition to. So we cannot express challenge in past tense because it is coming after the preposition to ever challenge. Ever is just an adverbial. Challenge comes after to. We cannot express it in past tense. The correct option is option D. The old man warned me not to ever challenge him again. Let's see how the other options are wrong. Option A, the old man warned me not to be challenging him again. It is wrong because in our direct speech, because the direct speech is not expressed in a continuous tense. So to be challenging is not appropriate. Option B, the old man warns me not to challenge him anymore. First, warned supposed to be in past tense, warned, not in the third person singular present tense, warns. So it is wrong. Then anymore is not what we have in our direct speech. What we have in our direct speech is again, not anymore. So B is wrong. Option C, the old man warned him not to challenge me again. This one is quite misleading. The old man warned him. This expression means the old man warned himself. The old man warned him not to ever challenge me again. This is also wrong. Option D is the correct option. To the next question. Haruna said, we brought in a new machine 3 days ago. Haruna said, we brought in a new machine 3 days ago. A. Haruna said that they had brought in a new machine 3 days before. B. Haruna said that they brought in a new machine 3 days before. C. Haruna said that they brought in a new machine 3 days ago. D. Haruna said that they had brought in a new machine 3 days before. Now let's change this to the reported speech. Haruna said that. Now, when Haruna said in the direct speech, Haruna said we brought in, we. Haruna is referring to himself and other people. So when we are reporting it, we don't use we. We use they. That is how we changed to they. Haruna said that they. Now let's come back to the direct speech. Brought, past tense. In our table, remember, past tense will change to past perfect tense. So brought has to change to had brought. Haruna said that they had brought in a new machine 3 days ago. In our direct speech, ago we changed to before. Ago we changed to what? Before. That's how we have 3 days before. Haruna said that they had brought in a new machine 3 days before. And that means option A is our correct option. Haruna said that they had brought in a new machine 3 days before. Let's see why option B, C, and D are wrong. Haruna said in option B that they brought in a new machine 3 days before. We are still repeating in option B the same past tense, whereas the past tense should have been changed to past perfect tense. This is why option B is wrong. We should have had brought, not only brought. Option C, Haruna said that they brought in a new machine 3 days ago. Now, ago should have changed to before, and brought, just like in option B. In option C should have changed to had brought. Option C is also wrong for these reasons. Then option D, Haruna said that they had brought in a new machine 3 days before. Well, option D could have also been correct, but for the quotes, the quotation marks render option D incorrect. Option A is the correct option. To the next question. I was here earlier on. Madame Senge thought. I was here earlier on. Madame Senge thought. A. Madame Senge thinks that she had been there before. B. Madame Senge thought that she had been there earlier on. C. Madame Senge thought that I had been there earlier on. D. Madame Senge thought that she had been here earlier on. Let's convert this to report a speech. Madame Senge thought that. Now, let's come back to our direct speech. I was here. I. When Madame Senge used the pronoun I, she was referring to herself. Now that we are reporting it, we have to change that pronoun I to she to refer to Madame Senge. That's why we have she. I changed to what? She. Madame Senge thought that she. Then look at it. The direct speech was here. Was. Past tense has to change to past perfect tense. The past perfect tense of was is had been. Had been. Madame Senge thought that she had been. Here, in the direct speech, we change to there. In the indirect speech, that's how we have there. Madame Senge thought that she had been there earlier on. Let's come back to the options to see the correct one. A. Madame Senge thinks that she had been there before. Thinks, no, wrong. There cannot be thinks. It cannot be in present tense. It can only be in past tense. Option A is wrong. Option B. Madame Senge thought that she had been there earlier on. Correct. Option B is the correct option. Option C. Madame Senge thought that I had. It is not I. It is herself. It is Madame Senge. So we're supposed to have she in that place. Option C is wrong because the pronoun remains I, whereas it should have been changed to she. Then option D. Madame Senge thought that she had been there. That she had been here. Here should be changed to there. Option D is also wrong. Option B remains the correct option. Woo! This is about 24 minutes. It's been a very long video. I do not want it to be longer than this. I just believe with my explanations and copious examples and past questions, you would have understood the notion of direct and reported speech or indirect speech, depending on what you call it. Thank you for being here. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.